Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a bunch of patterns that I found that are perfect for summer. So there are over 20 patterns that I'm going to talk about today, and a lot of them are free. I'm going to let you know which ones are free, which ones are paid, and where you can find them, and they will all be linked in the description in the order that I talk about them. So the first thing that I think would be really cute to make for summer is a little crab, and I found two crab patterns. One is a smaller one and it is a free one on Ravelry, and then the bigger crab is one that I found that is a paid pattern, and I think they are both no-sew patterns. At least the larger one is definitely a no-sew pattern, which I love, so I really want to make one of these this summer. Similar to the crab, the next pattern I found is for a hermit crab, and I've seen this pattern a few times on Pinterest, and so I just think this would be perfect for summer. This is a little bit of a larger pattern, and it is also free, which I was surprised. I kind of expected this one to be a paid one, but it is free, so I want to try this one too. The next two patterns that I found are for frogs, which are definitely great for spring and summer. And so one of the patterns is a little frog, and I've tried this one. I believe it's free on Instagram and there's a YouTube tutorial, and so I've made this one and it's really cute. I do like this pattern. And then the other one is one that I have had liked on my Etsy for a long time. I have wanted to make it, but I just haven't bought the pattern yet. So this one is a paid pattern, and it's from Cable and Canvas, which I have used many of her patterns and I do like them, so I'm sure this one would be great as well. The next pattern that I found is a seal, and this one is really cute and it looks pretty little, like it would probably be very easy to make a lot of these for market prep. And this one has a free YouTube tutorial. I thought there was a written pattern, but I couldn't find it, so there might be one, but I know for sure there's a YouTube tutorial for it. And then I have quite a few different turtle patterns that I think would be really fun for summer. So one I found is kind of like more of a tortoise than a turtle, and it has the different shapes on the shell, so it looks more realistic, but it's still a fairly small turtle, and so I think this one would be very unique. I haven't seen many other that have all the details on the shell like this one. And surprisingly, this pattern is free as well, and this one is on a blog. I do know that this creator makes YouTube tutorials for some of their patterns, so there might even be a YouTube tutorial for it, but I'm not certain on that. And I definitely want to try this next pattern. It is for a no-sew turtle, and so I really have been wanting to make turtles, and I've been wanting to make a smaller one than I usually do, and so this one is smaller and it's no-sew, which sounds amazing, so I definitely want to try this one, and this one is also free on a blog. So the next turtle pattern that I found is very unique, and I found this one on Etsy, and so I think this one would be really popular for boys more. I mean, girls would still like it too, but I think that this would be good to have as like a separate option that is more a boyish or more sporty than the other ones. So I believe this is a 4-in-1 pattern, and so it is sports turtles. So there's a soccer ball, a baseball, a tennis ball, and a basketball that are the shell of the turtle, and so I think that is super unique, and I haven't seen anyone else make this before, so I think like even if you're at a market with a bunch of other crocheters, this is something that would be unique that most other people probably wouldn't have. And this one is a paid pattern. And then the next set of turtles that I found the picture on Pinterest, but I could not find a pattern to go with it. So I had to do some searching, and I found a different pattern that is similar. So I'm going to go ahead and put up both pictures so you can see the inspiration from the first one. And I kept searching everywhere, searching the photo, and I could not find the pattern. So I went and searched for fruit turtles on Etsy, and I found this other one, and this is a 13-in-1 pattern, which is a lot of patterns in one. So I think that all of these fruit turtles would be really cute. So I have made an orange turtle before, and I actually just used a pattern that I already had, which is my favorite turtle pattern, Tiana the Turtle from All From Jade. And that one is a no-sew pattern, or I think low-sew. Pretty much, I think there's only like one thing that you have to sew. But anyways, I made one of those as an orange, and it was pretty popular and it sold pretty quickly. So I think that these would be pretty popular. I like all the different fruit, but I'm sure that the orange, the strawberry, and the watermelon, I think those would sell super quickly at some summer markets. And then I have one more turtle pattern that I found, which I know that's a lot of turtles, but I feel like a lot of them are really unique. So this last one is one that I have seen for a while, but I have never made it. So this one is an ice cream turtle, and I think this one is really cute. You could make it where it has 1 scoop of ice cream, or like this one in the picture, you can do 2 scoops of ice cream. And I think that kids would definitely love this, and you could do different colors for different flavors of ice cream. So I think this one would be really fun. And this one is a paid pattern that is on Etsy. And then after I saw that ice cream turtle, it reminded me that I tested a pattern a couple of years ago that was ice cream jellyfish, and I really love this pattern. It's a no-sew pattern. Actually, it's a low sew pattern. The only thing you have to sew on is the ice cream cone. And I really like this one. I've made it multiple times. I've made some of these without the cone, so you don't have to use the cone. If you just want it to be a normal jellyfish, you can do that. I've definitely done that many times. But this one is super cute, and it is a paid pattern, but it's only like $3 right now, so definitely worth it. And then I also think that squids would be great for summer, and I have a favorite squid pattern that I use, and there is a large squid, a medium squid, and they just came out with a tiny squid pattern, and I have used all 3 of them, and I love them all. These ones actually work up super quickly. Every time I make it, I'm surprised by how quickly I can make it, and they are pretty popular for me, so I definitely recommend this pattern. And it is a paid pattern on Etsy as well. The next thing that would be perfect for summer is a starfish. So I recently tried out 2 starfish patterns. So the first one that I made, I found the pattern for free on Instagram, but I found it is also on her blog, and this one is from Hooks and Healers. And this one was not my favorite out of the 2. Because although this one is no-sew, there were quite a few ends that you had to weave in the end. So technically it's no-sew, but there's so many ends that I had to tie or weave in, and so at each tip of the star you have to sew the end closed. So I personally didn't love that because I don't love sewing, but if you don't mind sewing, then you might like this pattern. I don't think that it is the perfect pattern for me, so I probably won't be making it again. But if you don't mind sewing, then you would probably like this pattern. It does turn out super cute. And then the second starfish pattern that I tried is one that I found on Ribbler, and this is a free pattern, and I really like this one. This is also a no-sew, but there's only like, I think only 2 ends that you have to weave in on this one. So this one was definitely my favorite because it was less ends to weave in at the end and no sewing. So I think that they both turned out pretty cute, but the second one is definitely my favorite, and it's a free pattern also. I also think that a snail would be really cute to make for summer. I made one a year or 2 ago, and so I'll see if I can get the picture of that to put it up. And this pattern is from Crochet Grove. It is a free pattern on Instagram, and it does involve some sewing, so it's not my favorite. I don't think that I'm going to make it again just because I don't feel like sewing it, but if you don't mind sewing, then you would like this one. And then this next pattern I saw right when it was released, and I really wanted to get it, but I didn't have the colors of yarn for it, so I was like, I'm not going to buy the pattern right now, and maybe I'll buy it in the future. So this one is another one from Crochet Grove, and this is the duck pattern, and they're just so cute. There's a mallard duck, and then there's just like a yellow duck, and then they have like a pool floaty that they can wear also, and I think it's really cute. It is a little bit of a larger plushie, and that's one reason why I haven't made them yet, but at some point in the future I do definitely want to try this pattern out. But it is a paid one on Etsy. And then I think it would be really cute to make some fruit, and so I think a strawberry is always great, and then a watermelon also, and I can put the pattern for the watermelon that I have made, and then I also saw this other one on Etsy that is really cute. It is a paid one. It is only $2 right now, and so I think this one would be really cute. And I've seen quite a few other watermelon patterns, so if you want to find a free one, you probably can, like on Instagram or on Ribbler. I also know that Little Baby Rory Crafts has a really cute watermelon pattern also, and I believe it is a paid one on Etsy as well. And I also just wanted to mention that a lot of the patterns that I mentioned in my spring video would also be good for summer as well, so I will go ahead and link that at the end if you haven't seen that one, and then you can watch that, because I have a lot of fruit patterns and just a lot of things that could kind of work for spring and summer also. And then the next pattern that I found is a really cute ice cream cone, and I saw this one on Instagram and I thought it was really cute. It is a paid pattern, and I haven't tried this one, but I've seen multiple people use it, and so I think it's a pretty good pattern. I kind of want to try it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it this summer. And then I have another type of ice cream pattern, and this is a Taiyaki ice cream, which is one of my new favorite desserts. There's a Taiyaki truck that goes to a lot of the markets and events that I go to, and I always have to get one whenever I see them. It's so good. So if you haven't had it, it's pretty much like a waffle. It's more of an actual waffle than a waffle cone, and then they put the ice cream in it, and it's so good. But anyways, so I found this free pattern, and I haven't tried it, but I think that this would be really, really cool, especially for like me, because there's a truck like that has that there, something they can get at the market. That would be really cool, that you could get a plushie to kind of remember that by. And then similar to the ice cream, I found a Snowcone pattern. This is another one that I saw right when it came out, and I really wanted to make it, but I just didn't get around to it yet. So this one is free on a blog, and there's also a YouTube tutorial for it. So I really do want to make this one. I just need to go ahead and do it. There's so many things on my list that I want to make that I just don't get around to it, and a lot of time I am spending most of my time crocheting, like restocking a lot of my items that I sell a lot of, where I'm not necessarily making a bunch of new items, like trying new patterns. I'm just using like the patterns that I already have, or ones that I have memorized, because those are like my best sellers that keep selling out, and so I'm making more. So, but anyways, the next thing is a mermaid, and I have started working on one. I bought a couple of mermaid patterns on Etsy, and I haven't finished mine for those, so I'm probably not going to put those into this video because I haven't finished mine and I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about the pattern yet. But I did find this other one, and it is free. And it is free on a blog, and it is a pretty good size mermaid, and I've seen different pictures on Pinterest, I believe from the same pattern, where they made like one that looked like Ariel just by using the different colors, and they have examples of different colors that you can use. So I think that is really cool, and this is one that I definitely want to try out eventually, but I need to finish the other mermaid that I've started first. And then the last pattern I have to talk about in this video is a flower friend, and this one I saw on Etsy, and I think it's just really cute. It's kind of like a flower snuggler, and I've seen quite a few different flower patterns like this. I haven't necessarily made one, so I didn't have like a favorite one to recommend, but I saw this one and it's only $3 on Etsy, so I thought that this one would be pretty cute. Same thing with this one. I don't think I'm going to get around to it anytime soon, but it will be on my list to eventually hopefully make. So those are all of the patterns that I found for summer. Now, if you want to see some of the patterns, more of the patterns that I have personally used myself, I have more of those in my patterns for spring videos. So I will link that so that you can watch it next for more ideas. And then I will also put up my playlist. I recently created a playlist of my pattern recommendation videos because I realized that I've made quite a few of them, so I put them into a playlist. So I will put that here, so if you want to see some of my other pattern recommendations. And then let me know if you want to see more patterns, like new patterns, free patterns. Like I could definitely do a video about all the free patterns that I love, or just my favorite patterns. So just let me know in the comments. And don't forget to check out the description because all of the links to the patterns are there for you. And if you've watched this far, then go ahead and go to the comments and leave a little turtle emoji so I know that you watched all the way until the end. And I really appreciate it when you guys do watch my videos. Thanks for watching.